LEGO has revealed the final sets of January 2026. LEGO revealed 3 of them just the other day, but then right after that, the next day, they revealed the rest of the wave, all 5 sets. So those 5 are what I'll be going over in this video. If you missed the last one, the link will be in the description. Now let's look at this wave because it's really interesting. LEGO has seemingly heard our pleas for cheaper sets, and they've delivered on that front. However, I'm still not sure that the cheaper sets are actually all that great of a deal. They still seem a little pricier than they probably should be. But we can talk about that more individually as we work through the sets. The first one I want to start with is the Siege of Mandalore Battle Pack. A tremendous idea for a battle pack, and it would have been great to accompany Season 7 of the Clone Wars. LEGO's a few years late to the punch, but better late than never. It's got a great distribution of 2 Maul Mandalorians, 1 male and 1 female, and then 3 332nd Troopers, also known as Ahsoka Clone Troopers. I really like that her clones aren't just being forgotten about. LEGO has kept making them even since Clone Wars Season 7, which is nice to see. I really hate it when clones are just one and dones, and even though I don't think this Legion deserves maybe as many sets as it's getting, it's cool to see. As far as the Maul Mandalorians, it's about time. It's been way too long since we've seen these guys. And they have such a cool armor design, as well as being pretty integral parts of the Clone Wars. I mean, for as little as they show up, the Mandalore arc is iconic from that show. And so this was just a perfect choice for a battle pack. Of these Maul Mandalorians though, they could have been made better. The visors for some reason are silver. I'm not sure why they made that decision. It blends way too much with the rest of the helmet and doesn't look good at all. In fact, it even feels like a misprint. Maybe it's just the renders, maybe in person will be better, but I doubt it. Before we move on from the minifigures, I also want to mention the shield included with the 1 Mandalorian. That's a great touch. It's a very iconic piece of their armor, so I like that inclusion. As for the builds of the set, they definitely leave something to be desired. I like them both, but they do feel a little too small. Battle Pack builds are never supposed to be anything too special, and I get that, but these feel like another level. I mean, compare this to the Battle Pack builds we used to get. These are a lot less substantial and definitely not something I'm going to want to display. Taking them for what they are though, I do like them. The speeder of course is a good choice for the Maul Mandalorians, and on the other side of things, the little barricade for the clones is a nice little build. A little clunky, kind of like classic LEGO, but I really like the great piece on front. All in all, it's an okay battle pack. There's definitely stuff to be desired though, both among the minifigures and the builds, that do hold it back. Something else that holds it back is the price point. Surprisingly, this set has 116 pieces, which I would not believe if you told me that at first. I don't know where those are hidden at, but it does not feel like 116 pieces in this set. Battle packs are just continuing to creep up and up in price while delivering less and less in the builds. You can compare this set even to just a few years ago, the Snowtrooper Battle Pack. That was the first one to jump to $20, and yet it's a great battle pack. It has tremendous builds and a good lineup of minifigures. This set here though, a bit of the opposite. The builds don't feel all that substantial, and the minifigures of course have their own issues. I still really like a lot of what was going on here, it just wasn't executed the best. The next set I'll talk about is Cobb Vanth Speeder. Another small set, but one without a small price tag. I'll touch more on that at the end. For now, I'll focus on all the positives of the set, which is basically everything. Starting with the minifigures, we have 2 beautifully detailed characters. Cad Bane and Cobb Vanth both look spectacular. They're both rocking some arm printing. Cobb Vanth has a different little pistol. He's wearing Boba's armor that's all torn up with the new rangefinder piece. Cad Bane's got his nice breathing tubes and his big old hat. Nothing to complain about with either of these minifigures. The build isn't spectacular, but it is pretty good. The main part of the engine looks very nice. The seat for the driver is a little messier, but still works. And all in all, I don't have too much to say about it. It's just an alright speeder. A very unique one at that, but a good one. So where does this set falter? And that's with the price. 207 pieces for $35. And only 2 minifigures. They're good minifigures, and it's a decent build, but not for $35. If we had a cheaper price, I'd be seeing in the set plenty of praises, as the build is decent, but not $35. I know the minifigures factor into that some, but not enough to make up that price point. So while I like what LEGO is doing here and I like the smaller sets, $35 doesn't really feel like a smaller set. The third set revealed is a clone Shock Trooper mech. I'm not going to spend too much time on this one because the mech line just needs to die at this point. LEGO is not doing a very good job with it. The builds are not inventive at all. Each one's the exact same, just with a different color scheme. Luke Skywalker's X-Wing mech is still the only good one. It does something different, unlike every other mech since and before it. They don't have anything unique about them. And the minifigures they're including in these mech builds aren't very desirable at all. And I say that in the greater scheme of things because yes, a clone Shock Trooper is desirable, but not one for $15. If you wanted Shock Troopers, there's plenty of other options right now. So there's no reason to buy this set. While we're here though, I would like to point out the 151 pieces for $15. I mean, when we're comparing all these sets to one another, I just talked about the past two. Comparing the piece count and price from those two to this one is just insane. I mean, Cobb Vanth Speeder had 50 more pieces, one more minifigure, and it costs $20 more. How does that make sense? That's just something I do not get, and I can't believe they're putting sets out like this that just have such a contrast in their price per piece. Not that that's like the golden rule that you have to go by it, but even if you just judge these builds by their size, this mech actually seems bigger than Cobb Vanth Speeder. So when you're talking about price per the actual plastic, it's still pretty comparable. And yet, Cobb Vanth Speeder is $35 while this one's $15. That's crazy. Let's move on from that though to go to the first 4+ set to not be overpriced, Grogu's Homestead. Some good news for once, younger builders are actually getting a fairly priced set. $20 for 107 pieces, which is fine considering how big some of these pieces are and that you get quite a few builds. It at least feels reasonable as opposed to all the other 4+ sets before this. And honestly, this might be the best 4+ set anyway. All these little builds, the little Grogu, is just kind of fun. It seems like a nice 4+ build, and while I'm not the target audience, I think I would like this set if I was 4 years old. Anyhow though, let's get back to some real sets, and the next one being the Mandalorian and Grogu's speeder bike. This was a set I was actually extremely excited for, which sounds kind of dumb, but when I heard about this set, I was ecstatic because it's been something I've been asking LEGO to do for a while now. Make smaller sets. And that's exactly what this is. And maybe I shouldn't be as judgmental about it, but I am a little let down. When I look at the build and the minifigures, I just don't see a $10 set. The minifigures are good, Mando and Grogu. The speeder bike is what falters for me. It just looks bad. I'm not going to expect a lot for $10, but I'm going to expect more than that. In that older Mandalorian Tusken Raider set, they had a speeder included in that set that looked perfect. Why they didn't just follow that template, at least to some degree, eludes me. All that said though, LEGO at least seems to be trending in the right direction. I like the way they're moving with these sets and making them smaller. I just wish they were executing them better. The pricing feels very inconsistent, as well as the set's quality for that price. All of it's just really out of whack. This was actually a wave I was extremely excited for. I loved the idea of getting smaller sets. But these are not at all what I had in mind. So honestly, it's a pretty disappointing wave. At least the 5 sets I covered in this video. But maybe that's just me. Do you guys like these sets? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you're going to pick any up day one. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe for more, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.